Today we will be using our sketches and practice skills from last week to create an animal face using the Slab method. To begin, you will take your circle template and make sure that it fits completely onto your slab. I would not place your template right in the middle. If you can get it as close to a corner as you can, you will end up leaving a bigger scrap piece of clay that you can then use for other details. Hold your template still and use your needle tool to push all the way down through the clay to the table and cut around the template. Remove your template and circular slab and try to save that scrap piece so you can use it for other details. I will be creating a bunny for my demonstration today, but the same techniques apply no matter what animal you choose to make. You should have at least one or more details that you add on with a separate slab or coil of clay. You can choose to use the cookie cutters, or you could freehand draw the shapes that work the best for your animal. If you are using the small cookie cutters, you might need to use your pinky finger or the blunt end of the needle tool to help you remove the clay shapes from the mold. To get your proportions correct, you can place the slab right next to your head to make sure details like the ears are the right size for your head and animal. Keep in mind, you can lightly scratch with the needle tool to sketch out a shape before you actually commit to cutting or slicing all the way through the slab. If you don't end up liking what you drew, then you can just smooth the line back out with your finger and try again. Once you are happy with your shape, then you can press your needle tool all the way through the clay and drag to cut it out. If you want two of the same shape, you can place your first shape on top of your remaining slab and just trace around it. If your remaining slab pieces are not big enough, you will have to squish your clay into one piece and pound it back down into a bigger slab. Make sure you are doing this on your clay mat, not directly on the table, or your clay will be stuck to the table after pounding and cutting. Remember that really thin and flimsy slabs tend to break once they're dry, so try to keep your slabs a little bit on the thicker side. If you are wanting to make circular shaped slabs, you can roll your clay into a small sphere and then flatten it down using your hands if you feel like none of the cookie cutter shapes are the right size and cutting it yourself isn't really working out. If you get tiny cracks in your piece, dip one finger and use a bit of water or slip to smooth away the cracks. Once you have made all of the pieces you would like to add on, you need to make sure that you attach them the proper way to make sure that they stay once your piece completely dries out. I need to score, which means to scratch or roughen up, add slip, which is just watered down clay, stick them together, and possibly take it one step further by smoothing them together. I can use my needle tool to score the back of my pieces, or I can just use the toothbrush and the slip cup, but you want to make sure that you actually see scratch marks on your pieces. You should be scratching the back of the piece you are putting on and also scoring where that piece will be touching your base. Add a thin layer of slip and press the pieces together. Continue to score and add slip to every piece that you are attaching to your base or to each other. For some details, like the ears and mine, you can take it one step further after scoring and adding slip and actually smooth and join the clay together, almost erasing the seam so you can't even tell that they were once two separate pieces. When you have finished attaching all of your pieces, dip one finger into your slip cup and gently slide your finger over all of your edges to make sure that nothing dries jagged or sharp. Do not overdo it with the slip. Some kids get a little slip happy and add way too much, and their whole piece becomes very slippery, sloppy, soggy, and wet. When you have finished smoothing, go back and carve in any details you want. It could be as simple as poking some eyes or nostrils, carving a line for the mouth or whiskers. You could even add some texture for the animal like fur or scales. Some kids have discovered that the needle tool makes very thin lines. If you want bolder lines, the dull pencil might work better. Keep in mind that if you are adding texture, You are not slicing through your entire project. You are just gently scratching the surface. Also, keep in mind that next class we will be painting or glazing these. So there might be some details that are actually better achieved through paint instead of carving or adding on relief details. Whenever you are finished, any extra clay scraps will be returned to the extra clay bin for other students to use. If you need some extra clay, just come up and grab some. You will want to make a small clay name tag that says your name neatly and your class code. You will bring your slab animal and your name tag over to the tray and place your animal down and then leave your name tag sitting right on top of your animal. Head back to your seat and make sure your clay mat, templates, and all clay tools are returned to your tray and that your tray is returned back to the counter once you and your table mates are all finished. Once all of your messy clay items are put away, then please use the washcloths to clean your hands and your tables.